Hi everyone, so today we are moving on now to coordinate geometry, multiple choice, CSEC multiple choice questions. And we may have a couple different parts in this because there were a number of questions I would have found from the going back to the 1980s straight up to the latest exam, January 2020 paper one, right? So let's get the first one. It says below shows that the coordinate axes divide the XY plane into 4 quadrants, and they actually wrote out the quadrants here, right? This is quadrant 1 for first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. A point XY lies in the fourth quadrant if. Now, first thing you need to know is that, okay, horizontal line is my x-axis, vertical line is my y-axis, right? Let's just do let's just number it, right? So we know on the right hand side of the x-axis, positive numbers, right? Let's put 1, 2, 3, right? And on the left hand side is the negative numbers, right? Let's put -1, oops, -2, -3, right? And on y-axis at the top, we have positive numbers. And at the bottom is where we have our negative numbers. That's something you need to know, right? So a point XY lies in the fourth quadrant. So XY is somewhere, let me say here is the XY, right? Let me say this, let's say that's the point there, right? So let's show X, right? So basically in the fourth quadrant, my X value will be positive, right? Because remember, you check it as you're going up to see the X value are going across to find the Y value, right? And my Y value will be negative, right? So meaning my X value will be greater than 0 and my Y value will be less than 0. So that therefore we're looking for that answer here. X is greater than 0 and Y is less than 0, and that is D, right? So you must know how to label your X and Y axes and so on, right? The next question I have here is, which of the following represents the equation of a straight line? Funny enough, I have a student that I would have taught about 3, 4, 5 years ago about that, and they sent me a meme. One thing they'll never forget about maths is equation of a straight line, y equals mx plus c, because it's something you just drill. Y equals mx plus c, y equals mx plus c. So y equals mx plus c. This is the equation, general equation of a straight line, right? So general equation of a straight line. So just to go ahead and just to show you one thing quickly here. So the general equation of a straight line, you see you must have your x, right? And the power of x is always 1. We don't write the 1, but it's understood, right? So the power of a straight line, that x, the power of the x is always 1. So that narrowing down my answers already. We know it's not c because the power of x is x squared, 2, but power is 2. And also for d. For a, this is actually 4 x to the minus 1 if you had to bring up that x up there. So it's not a. B gives me y equals 2x plus 3. That is in the form y equals mx plus c. And the power of x is 1, right? So the answer is B. Just to go through quickly, y equals mx plus c. M is the value of the gradient, is the y-intercept, where the straight line cuts the y-axis. Where the straight line cuts the y-axis. Right, so that's just something to note as well, right? But again, the general equation of a straight line, y equals mx plus c. Good? Alright, now we have a similar question. Which of the following represents the equation of a straight line? Remember, I told you the equation of a straight line is equal to y equals mx plus c, right? Looking at option A, we have xy. Xy is actually saying x multiplied by y. But in the general equation, there is no x multiplied by y, right? X and y are apart. So A is not an option. Y plus 3 equals 2x. The power of my x is 1. So this is actually the equation of a straight line. We could have written this as well as y equals 2x. Carry across the plus 3, we get minus 3, right? Another way you could write it. C is not an option because the power of the x is 2. Remember, we want the power must be 1. And then D, we also have a power of 2 for the x as well there, right? So just different ways you could write the equation for a straight line. Alright, so now this question, we're going to know what is the gradient of the straight line. I put these two again next to each other because they are basically the same thing, right? There's one little tiny difference, which I will show you. So remember, the general equation for a straight line, as I would have mentioned in the last couple questions, y equals mx plus c, right? Where m, the value of m, is your gradient, right? Now, some of y'all may look at this equation here and say, aha, well, the number before the x is minus 3, so that had to be m, that have to be the gradient, minus 3, but no. You see, we have 2y equals minus 3x minus 8. The general equation of a straight line is not 5y or 2y or 6y, is only y alone. So it must be y, 1y alone, right? So we need to get rid of this 2. Remember, when you have a letter and a number attached to each other like that, this is really 2 times y, right? So this becomes division by 2 here. So 3x minus 8 all divided by 2. Then we could break this up. Minus 3x over 2 minus 8 over 2. Right? Now, my m is actually the number before the x, which is minus 2, which is b. Now, across here now, it's the same equation, huh? 2y plus 3x minus 8. It's just in the first equation they had already carried across the 3x, right? So here, remember, we want y alone, right? So let's make it y equal to everything else. So it's easier to see. So let's carry across the 3x. So we get 2y is equal to 8 minus 3x. So now we could just write that back as the minus 3x first plus 8, right? And, sorry, it's minus 8, sorry. Right, so that should be minus 8. Right, number, same thing with y. You divide, so we're going to get, I'm just going to do it with the, where we separated one time. That's right, and it's the same exact thing, right? Which is b. So just keep a note of that, right? The general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c. Make sure you have y equals to everything else in order to see it properly, what is supposed to be your gradient. So if you have 10y plus 8x is equal to 5, go ahead and carry across everything and make y equal to everything else. Then that number before the x will be your gradient. Again, any questions you have, please leave any comments down below, right? Alright, our next question. The diagram above shows the line PQ. The gradient of line PQ is given by, so first thing you need to know, how do you find the gradient? So gradient, this is one of the formulae you need to remember, right? So gradient is y1 take away y2 all over x1 take away x2. So P is A comma B and Q is C comma D. So label the points. Remember the first number letter is always the x. So label this as x1. This will be y1, right? Then across for Q, this will be x2, and then this D will be y2. Now, remember M also represents gradient, right? So the gradient, y1 minus y2 all over x1 minus x2. So my y1 is what? B. X2 is, sorry, y1 is B, y2 is D, x1 is A, and x2 is C, and that's my gradient. So let's look which one is that. So we want B minus D over A minus C, and that's D. In this question, it says in the diagram above, the gradient of line AC, so we want to find the gradient of line AC. So gradient of AC. First of all, we need to know our points. A is what? From the diagram here, 2, 2, and C is 5, 6, right? Straight from the diagram, right? Again, label your points. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. And again, remember, you need to remember how to find gradient, right? Y1 take away Y2 all over X1 take away X2. And just replace your values. So Y1 is 2. Y1 is 2. Take away Y2, which is 6. X1, 2. Take away X2, which is 5. And 2 take away 6 is negative 4. 2 take away 5 is negative 3. The negatives will cancel out, so you get 4 over 3, which is option D. Now, in this question, it says you want to find the gradient of AB. Now, gradient, as we said, was y1 take away y2 over x1 take away x2, right? But they didn't give you any points here. They didn't label the axes, so we know what are the coordinates of A and B and so on, right? But you should also remember that the gradient is basically the vertical rise over the horizontal. So basically for my diagram, this is how you're going to look at it, right? The vertical is 1, 2 blocks. Horizontal is 1, 2, 3, 4. And my gradient is a half, right? Very case like this, right? But again, for other cases where they actually give you values and so on, you have to know your y1 might take away y2 over x1 over x2 as well, right?